Okay, now we can begin. Fine. Okay. How are you? All good? I hope so. You can come closer if you like. Now, before I begin, I would like to ask you one thing, and that is to think of something that you want. Now, I would like to challenge you a little bit, and I want you to think of something that you want and yet don't know how to achieve. Something is beyond your reach for now. Now, we all want something. Always a matter of living. And there are two problems with wanting. First thing is that the more we think and speak of how much we want it, the more we push it away from us. Now, have you ever heard of the law of attraction? Whoever didn't, please watch The Secret, read the book, Google it. Seriously, it's very easy, it's very well known everywhere. The law of attraction means, in few words, what we think about comes about. What we think and speak the most manifests into our life. It's been researched by scientists all over the world. It's a fact. Now, if we want, let's give you an example. I say, I want money. If I say, I want money, the universe says, okay, sure. Now, who wants money? Someone who has money or someone who doesn't have money?
Both.
Yeah.
Someone wants more money. But usually when we say I want, is that we don't have it. So if I keep on thinking of wanting something, I just push it away. Annoying. Another problem is that when we finally reach what we want, whoever reads something that they really wanted, I mean, something specific in their life, like they reached it. Have any idea in your head? It's okay, you can say I, it's okay. The moment we reach it, it takes us about 10, 20 seconds, maybe a minute. Or if you're really good at it, a day. And then we start wanting something else. So we can understand from that what we want is not really the material life things, like a house, job, money, relationship, but what they represent for us. Either if it's happiness, freedom, love, joyful, etc., etc. Pick your pick. Oh! Where are we going to put these two? Just arrived for my introduction. Perfect. Now I think all of you know me, but just in case, my name is Uriel. I'm 30 years old and I come from Israel. And I also wanted something. I wanted something my entire life. I wanted to know, not believe, but know that I'm free to do whatever I feel like. And I'll be just fine. I want to know that I can, no matter what I do, no matter the consequences, no matter what happens, no matter even if this lecture will serve its purpose, I'll be just fine. Now, growing up, you probably heard this line once or twice while you were growing up. I was told many times that I can't really do whatever I feel like. There are certain things you must do. You can't just go around and do whatever you feel. I'm not much of a follower. I don't listen very well to what people tell me to do. So I couldn't really live without thought. And when I was 16, I came to a very low point in my life because I started to actually believe it's impossible. I couldn't live without thoughts. I actually wanted to kill myself. Now I know, a lot of 16 years old say that. I thank God I didn't try. I don't try many things. Now, after about 2 weeks, I came to a realization. The realization was that there are two options. One, it's impossible. It's impossible to do whatever you feel like. I was 16. My parents are 40 years older than me, and they tell me I can't. So maybe they can't. And many other people, of course. The other option is that nobody knows. Nobody knows that we can actually do whatever we feel like and actually be fine with it. I spent the last 14 years researching to find a proof that I can actually do whatever I feel like and I will be just fine. I would like to share a few of these realizations and understandings. But one thing before, it took me 14 years to understand this. So if you don't understand everything, first of all, ask. Okay, if I say something, it was understood, raise your hand, ask. What's going to happen? I'll tell you to write it on one of the notes on the tables, if it's in the way. But ask. Second of all, I don't want you to agree with me. I'm not asking you to believe me. Please don't. If you don't understand, don't take it. It's mine.
You don't believe.
Just one minute. Okay. So we all want something. Each one with his own desires. Did you ever struggle reaching what you want? It's quite annoying, wanting something and not reaching it. It usually takes some time. Now, where does this struggle come from? Now, in order to solve a problem, we must first find its source. Now, remember the law of attraction? What we think about comes about. Let's look at it backwards. If we experience struggle in our life, our mind, the part that actually creates our life, our reality, is in struggle. Our mind is struggling. Why is it so struggling? Did you ever work in a job, a working place, where no matter what you did, you never felt comfortable, you never felt belong at home, like it wasn't there?
Expertin.
I am the expert of this.
She's the expert. Oh, okay. We have examples. It's not much fun. Now, and did you ever start working in a job that the moment you landed in the job, the moment you started it, you felt at home? Like you can, no problem, you can do this. Without even being told, you just know the job. What do we usually do when we want something? We start thinking about it. We start thinking, what should we do? Where should we go? Who should we speak to? Our mind's job is not to guide us. Our mind's job is to create. It's to create what it knows to create. There's a little problem with that though, because it knows to create only what it knows to create. It doesn't know what to do with the unknown. And the problem with that is that we always move into the unknown. There's always something new. So, where can we find the guidance? Did you ever hear more than one voice in your head? Present.
No.
In psychology, you call it the inner chatterbox. They actually have a box for it. Or like a very good friend of mine here called it the choir. Quite annoying, huh? Now, if you look deeply, you have two sources for these voices. One of them is the mind. What the mind does is actually shoots everything he knows about this specific area. Whatever we were told by our parents, by our family, by our surroundings, our teachers, our friends, whoever. It just has a collection of advices and it just keeps on shooting it. There's another source, a much more subtle voice. And it's our intuition. Did you ever look at something like a problem you solved before, like an exam, and looking back, no matter if you picked the right choice or not, you said, I knew that. Familiar? I want to know if not, I want to correct here. It's our intuitive response. It's our intuition. Now, from the very name of the voice, intuition, we can already learn its purpose. Yeah. I can't erase that, sorry. Intuition. You see it?
No.
No, we had the problem. Intuition. I'll write it really big. See it? No.
You remember.
You remember, trust it. Intuition. Intuition. Tuition is teaching, instructing, guiding. It's our own inner teacher. Now, how do we know which one of the voices is actually our intuition among of all this wire? It's quite annoying.
The one that feels the best.
Yeah, but how do you know that before you do it, not after? After is easy. Let's look why the mind talks.